Okay, it's time for day 20 of the Bible recap, and we're going to be focusing on Genesis 25 and 26. Yesterday, we left off, and Sarah had passed away. Abraham is going to remarry, okay, and he is going to have 6 more kids. Now, the thing is, his inheritance, all of it's going to go to Isaac. Isaac is the child of the promise, okay, that was made between God and Sarah and Abraham. So, God is going to reappear to Isaac after Abraham dies. Abraham dies at 175 years old. He goes and he is buried with Sarah, and God appears to Isaac to just reiterate the promise, okay? Right after, this is crazy because right after he follows in his dad's footsteps, okay? And he is going to go, and we think it's the same king, Abimelech. They're going to go to his kingdom, and he is going to lie about Rebecca being his wife, just like his dad did. Okay, but the thing is, like, there's no truth to it. They are not siblings at all. And so the king sees them in like an embrace or something like that, and he calls him out, and he's like, "Were you trying to lie to me?" So King Abimelech was like, "No, like, this can't stand. Like, this is your wife. Like, you're gonna curse me if you put me in this position. Like, how dare you?" And the thing is, here Abimelech has a higher regard for God than Isaac. So God is faithful, though. Even after the sin, God blesses Isaac, and he does it quickly. Like, his things multiply, things are just going good, everything is in his favor. It is just a beautiful thing. And so because of the success, people and Abimelech kind of want Isaac gone out of the picture. So the thing is, that hasn't changed a whole lot in the last like 2,000 years. So people, if you're close to them and they get successful, sometimes people can get jealous. And in this case, they wanted them gone, or even worse, like, because I guess it's hard for you to see someone succeed around you. So all this is very interesting. God appears to Abraham at, no, excuse me. There's a lot of symbolism throughout here with all these wells, okay? So Abraham had established all these wells all over the place. And so they had been clogged up by different peoples, okay? Like, they've thrown sand in the wells. And so God appears to Isaac at Abraham's first well. And then they're going to fix all the wells that were clogged up, okay? And he is reminded of the promise that he is going to be made nations of, right? Like, you've got God's promise. You guys are going to be able to multiply and be many people. Well, the thing is, Rebecca is also barren for 20 years. Rebecca does not have a baby straight off. Like, they don't just start multiplying. So, but in that 20 years, she has her first child at 60, and it's a double blessing. Twins, okay? They are pregnant with twins, and Rebecca is struggling. She's in a lot of pain. She is questioning a lot of things. And so the beautiful thing is that she goes to God with her struggles. And so God says that his plans for the twin is that the younger will rule over the older. And through a tangled mess of tricks and sin, that is exactly what is going to happen. God's plan is going to prevail. So one is born, Esau. He comes out and he's like red and hairy, and he's his daddy's favorite because he likes to like hunt and do all the things. And then Jacob is born, like clutching on Esau's heel, literally. And I think that there's something with Jacob and like heel with the names. And so he's clutching onto Esau's heel, and he becomes his mother's favorite. And so that plays a part into how the story is going to unfold. So Esau is impatient. One day he comes in from after a long day of hunting, and Jacob is making a stew. And so Esau says, "Hey, give me some stew." And Jacob's like, "Hey, give me your birthright." And Esau's like, "Well, what use is a birthright if I starve to death?" "Yeah, that's fine." So there's some trickery afoot here, all right? And this becomes a theme of scripture, though. So we have the younger that's ruling over the older, okay? Or the younger that's getting the inheritance. We see Cain and Abel, where the offering was accepted from the older and not the younger. We see that Isaac is going to be given things over Ishmael. And we're going to see that scripture calls Jesus our older brother. And we share in his inheritance. So it's some beautiful, like, stuff going through here, like all weaved and all like in these stories. So it's really, really cool. And Esau is going to marry two Hittite women. So number one, he's marrying two, and number two, he is not marrying someone of God, of Yahweh. And this becomes a problem outside of God's family. So Jacob follows the law and marries inside of the God's family, and then Esau doesn't. Okay, you're going to see a lot of rebel from Esau. And so the plot is going to thicken even more. Okay, so we're going to hold that one off. But the God shot today is how God shows favor to those who are not in positions of honor. Okay, let's think about like the secondborn, like having the secondborn prevail over the oldest, right? And there's a special way that God communicates to those in situations who are less desirable. And Tara-Leigh gives a really good example of like people that are disabled or handicapped or mentally or physically, and how resilient they. This aspect of God's character extends far beyond birth order to those who have mental illness or physical uniqueness or developmentally delayed. God, who made the human brain and body, certainly isn't limited to the number of the functions we are currently aware of. There seems to be a special way God communicates with those in situations that seem less desirable or more impossible. He's endeared to the needy and the lowly. And guess what? That is all of us. We are all needy, and we are all lowly, and we are all deserving of God's love. So cannot wait to see you back here tomorrow for day 21. We're going to get into more of their story as it unfolds. And like I said, the plot thickens. So see you then.